Good morning, and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are creating with BeeBeeCraft. So a special thank you to BeeBeeCraft for allowing me to play with and showcase some of their products. Yes, I'm giggling because this is my second attempt to film this. The reason why is because, as you can see, I've already got some things put through the stencil here, and I picked this up and I start trying to talk about it, and I'm like, that's not a design I used. I've already taken these downstairs and washed them. That's why. So this is the rose, and I actually flipped it this way. I don't think there's a right or wrong. This one I used on the yellow, the top piece there. And then this one I used on this purple one. Now, they are still damp. I did not do a very good job in drying the stencils. I just came back up from washing them. So these I'm going to set off to the side and allow them to kind of dry a little bit more before we play with them. This one I love because I stenciled my modeling paste on top of this oxide spray. So on this particular piece, it's pulling the yellow up into the modeling paste, and so I think I'm going to leave that alone. This one I may mess with a little bit or just spray it with more spray. We'll see, but I want it to dry a little bit better before we do anything. This one is this, and you know, it is a large stencil, which is fantastic. I love that, but just because the stencil is big doesn't mean you have to use it in its entirety. You can stencil or use your modeling paste, or you can paint through it. You can do whatever you want, and say you just want a little bit of interest. We've got some squiggly line interest. We have some straight line interest. You know, we have this little, I don't know what that flower is. I'm going to call it a gladiola just because of the stalks and stuff. I'm probably wrong, but that's okay. So that's that one. It's drying. We're going to set it aside. Back over here. And then, so that's this, right? I just took a portion of it and stenciled it. On the rose one, the same deal, right? And these you can use either side, right? So it depends on which side of your page you want to use it on. And again, we've got the postmark here. We've got a little bit of interest here, some little bit of script here. I mean, just a lot of interest, a dragonfly on those. So you can pull those bits out and just put them on your page depending on what the design style is that you want, okay? So that is one way you can use this. And again, I just did my modeling paste, so those are drying. We have this one, and I'll have the dark background so you can see. We've got some script, another stamp, butterflies, okay? More interest you can pull from there. The birds, we talked about this, I think, when we did the unboxing, is this would make a really neat background, but you could also just pull certain aspects of this. And I may, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going yet with the rest of my play here. And then we have these that are the little bits. And I was like, man, I really like these. But I think that the lines are on here because I think they're designed to do this. I'm going to do it. I am going to allow myself to cut these apart because this is not necessarily a cohesive sheet, and you're not going to use all these designs on one page. So what I thought I would do is just come in and clip these apart and go from there, right? So now I have just this daisy page that I want to use, and that's easier, far easier than what I did with having it attached to the whole thing, okay? So get these all cut apart. I'm not going to cut them all apart right now. I just want to show a couple of ways that we can use them. Okay, so let's see here. I have here, sitting here, a couple of wildflower cards, right? And just because these say wildflowers, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to have a wildflower stencil. We can just use a portion of something, you know, and have a little bit of a play. So this big one, I'm gonna set this aside so I don't, oops, inadvertently mess up my paste. And what color do we want? What color do I want today? Let's just go with something simple. We're just going to pull something out of this bin. Nope, just kidding. This bin, because this is where my brushes are. So let's go with a wild honey and our orange stencil brush. So what I just want to put just a little bit of interest on my card. Doesn't have to be a lot. You're just adding a little bit to your page, you know. And then you're like, well, maybe I want a little more on there. Let's use a little bit of this script. So let's come in with a different color and just gently add a little bit more to it. And now just like that, you've added a little bit of interest to a card, okay? And then on this one, you know, you can choose any one of these. You could do this Lily of the Valley on there, which would be perfect if, you know, this card said Lily of the Valley, right? You could come in here and draw your green, come in here with your white to do your bells. You could even turn it into like a little, oh, what's the flower that's got like the little blue bells on it? A bluebell. Hi, Jody. That's the word. Okay, so that's one way you can use it. And then you clip them apart, and then you can have them nice and neat in a little container in your stencil storage. Okay, so that is that for these wonderful stencils, and I really liked the quality of them, like using the modeling paste through them and then being able to wash them. I didn't feel like it was too flimsy or going to fall apart or that I was going to tear up the design. So that was a really nice aspect of these two. It's like they're not super thick, but they're really not that, they're not flimsy. So I'm happy with the quality of these. Okay, so that is that for the stencils that I purchased. And then, you know, you can mass make if you've got your bags and you're like, oh, I can add a flower on there, or ooh, I can add a bird on there. Ooh, do we want to add a bird on there? Let's add a bird on there. Let's just do it. I don't have to take this downstairs and wash it. I thought I was done with this, but hey, why not? Just play, right? And then what you can do is when you're dry, or even when you're wet, maybe we'll try it when it's wet. No, I won't with the bird. I won't do it with the bird. I was going to do it with the flower. Little birdie. There we go. So now we have a cute little bird. It's squished under, but that's my technique, and it not being totally flat to the bag, but that's okay. We have the gist, and then once we add background to that, you really won't see all that mess that I made. And then you just can come in here and get those extra bits up too. Like maybe you don't want those, right? Maybe we don't want these. Okay, so let that dry. So that is that. Let me see what else I got. Yes, what else I have, I should have said. Not what else I got, what else I have. So I did cut these apart, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I really like this. And I was kind of trying to organize them, and I love damask prints. Love, love, love them. So this could be a damask print, but it was just a little too wide for this particular tag. And I thought, oh, I want to flip it. So I did it from the top first, and then I could from the bottom, flipped it from the bottom so they're mirror images of one another. And I thought we still just need a little bit on this tag. So how can I add a little bit more interest to it? Well, we can come in with another one of the little stencils, and I'm just using some blue distress ink, and I just want to come in and add a little bit of interest from the side here. It doesn't have to be a lot. And this is not a perfect job stenciling. I'm aware of that. I will probably add some splatters to this, maybe add some mixed media aspect to it, but because I have a project in mind that I'm going to use this for, but I can't tell you what that is yet. I'm not ready yet to disclose what I'm doing. But anyway, but this tag will be perfect for what I'm working on because it's in the right color family. So anyway, just coming in and adding a little bit of interest to the page. How did I hold that? Like that? Oh my gosh, now I don't even know what I did. How did I hold it? Oh, this is me right now, you guys. I'm such, okay, yeah, like that. So let's go like that. Here we go. Oh my gosh, that was like hard, wasn't it? Sometimes my brain doesn't reverse things well, but you see, you know, the gist of it, right? And I really like that a lot. So what do we have here? How about another color with a little bit of scripty interest to it? And I want to come in maybe with just some walnut stain. Where is my brown? And just add a little bit more interest to this. Now I like this because it's really not directional. I suppose it depends, are you right-handed or left-handed for the slant of the script, but I really don't think it matters. So we just come in and add a little bit more interest, and I'm going to overlay the script on top of the damask. I must have stuck my fingers in the ink. That's really nice, Jody. And just come in. And it does not have to be perfect, and that's the nice thing about having a base. Now, if I didn't know what project I have in my brain right now, I would say, well, this gives me a nice blue base to have in my stash as kind of a mask make, and I could pull this out when I'm ready to work on a project that wants some blue in it. And I started out with just a little bit, but I really like the overlay of the brown on that. So here we go, okay? So that's another way you can use them. You can mix and match them to create different layers of interest in one tag. So that is wonderful. Oh, I came in with the little bird and added a little bird to this one. And of course you could take your markers and outline. You can do all sorts of things to really bring these to life. But that is just kind of an overview of this particular set of stencils. So the link to these stencils are in the description box below. I hope you feel inspired to play. Maybe you have a similar stencil in your stash. Maybe you're like, ooh, I don't have anything like that. Well, check the description box below. There is a 10% coupon code that saves you a little bit of money, and it also lets BeeBeeCraft know that you went to their website to purchase because you saw me playing with their products right here. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Bye.